For decades, audiences have cherished the iconic Hoss Cartwright, the gentle giant whose warmth and humor lit up every screen he graced. Beneath that familiar smile, however, lay the extraordinary life of Dan Blocker, the man who embodied Hoss, with a personal journey filled with shocking twists, hidden secrets, and unexpected turns that continue to captivate fans even today. At the remarkable age of 6, one of his own sons bravely stepped forward to confirm a long-held suspicion, a revelation so startling that it challenges everything many believed they knew about his beloved father. Before we delve into these jaw-dropping disclosures, it is vital to trace the early formative years that paved the way for this astonishing narrative, laying the foundation for the incredible legacy of a man whose life was as dramatic and multifaceted as the roles he portrayed on screen. From humble beginnings to heroic feats, every chapter of his life contributes to a legacy that is both inspiring and, at most, scandalously unexpected. Dan Blocker's entry into the world was nothing short of miraculous, a robust 14-pound arrival that foreshadowed the extraordinary life he would lead. While his younger sibling, little Joe, may have charmed many with his handsome looks, it was the towering and gentle Hoss Cartwright who truly captured the collective affection of audiences everywhere. With a modest demeanor, limitless innocence, and a heart as pure as gold, Hoss transcended the confines of a mere television character to become a cultural icon, radiating strength and tenderness in perfect harmony. Every frame of his portrayal resonated with simplicity and warmth, leaving an indelible mark on those who grew up watching his adventures. After high school, he enrolled at the Texas Military Institute, where he not only honed his athletic prowess on the football field, but also earned a scholarship to Sul Ross State University. By then, he had grown into an imposing figure, 6'4" and 275 pounds, a presence impossible to ignore. It was during these transformative years that a new dream began to spark within him, steering him away from sports and toward the enthralling world of theater. When his college drama club needed a strong stagehand to move heavy props, Dan's natural might made him the obvious choice, a decision that would forever alter his destiny. Fueled by an irresistible passion for performance, Dan Blocker set his sights on the bright lights of New York City, determined to carve out a career on Broadway. With unwavering dedication and a talent that shone in every audition, after completing his education, Dan traded the comforts of college life for the rigors of military service by enlisting in the U.S. Army with an unyielding resolve to serve his country. Standing over 6 feet 3 inches tall and weighing around 300 pounds, he was a veritable colossus whose very presence commanded respect and admiration. Yet his enormous stature also brought unique challenges. Finding boots to fit his massive feet took an entire month. Soon after, he was thrust into the brutal realities of the Korean War, and by Christmas of 1951, he was stationed on the front lines near Chorwon, North Korea, as part of the esteemed 179th Infantry Regiment. In this harsh crucible, his raw strength and unbreakable spirit transformed him into a combat infantry sergeant, a role demanding both physical prowess and immense courage. Each day in the trenches brought a fresh wave of brutal battles as Dan and his comrades faced the piercing cold, endless sleepless nights, and the relentless barrage of enemy fire. For nearly 7 grueling months, the deafening explosions and ever-present danger served as the grim soundtrack to their struggle for survival. One unforgettable night, amidst chaos and a hailstorm of gunfire, Dan spotted a fellow soldier trapped and desperate for help. Without a moment's hesitation, he charged headlong into the fray, risking everything to pull his comrade to safety. A daring act of valor that left him wounded, yet earned him the prestigious Purple Heart as a lasting testament to his bravery. The relentless skirmishes on Porkchop Hill rank among the most harrowing episodes of the Korean War, a battlefield where even survival was a monumental victory. After months of continuous combat, Dan was finally evacuated. Returning home from the ravages of war, Dan Blocker was determined to leave the battlefield behind and rebuild a life centered on family, purpose, and passion. He married his college sweetheart, Dolphia Parker, and together they nurtured a warm, loving home while raising 4 children, a beacon of stability after the chaos of combat. Although acting had never been his initial plan, fate had a dramatic twist in store for the towering Texan. In pursuit of academic dreams, he moved to California and enrolled at UCLA, where his immense stature and genuine Southern charm quickly caught the eye of Hollywood casting agents, and small parts in popular shows soon paved his way to stardom. In 1957, his breakthrough arrived with a major role in The Restless Gun, a performance that struck a powerful chord with audiences and unlocked a cascade of opportunities. Soon, viewers were charmed by his recurring portrayal of Tiny Bootinger, a lovable and quirky ranch hand in Cimarron City that showcased his natural comedic timing and hinted at the magnetic charisma that would soon make him a household name. The moment that would forever change his destiny came when Dan Blocker landed the role of Hoss Cartwright in the groundbreaking series Bonanza, a part that not only redefined his career, but also immortalized him as an American icon. As Hoss, the warm-hearted and towering son of the Cartwright family, he graced living rooms nationwide, infusing each scene with comfort, humor, and steadfast loyalty that resonated with viewers of every age. Though Hoss appeared simple and unassuming, his genuine kindness and unwavering devotion quickly endeared him to fans. Despite his gentle nature and magnetic presence, the constant intrusion of attention and the loss of personal privacy became a heavy burden. Even simple family outings often turned into chaotic scenes of adoration. Disenchanted by the invasive nature of celebrity, Dan eventually chose in 1970 to relocate with his family to the serene landscapes of Switzerland, seeking the quiet life he so deeply desired. Dan and his family were drawn to the serene surroundings of Lakes Como, Maggiore, and Lugano. The pristine scenery and tranquil environment offered a welcome contrast to the relentless pace of Hollywood. And for Blocker, the promise of a simpler life in this picturesque setting was irresistible. Embracing this newfound sanctuary, the family soon made Switzerland their home, where they not only discovered peace but also secured an excellent international education for their children, who thrived in their nurturing new environment. During the turbulent 1960s, as the Bonanza crew traveled to various filming locations, they encountered the harsh realities of racial segregation in the American South, a region still mired in discrimination despite the growing civil rights movement. On one trip, the team was shocked when a hotel outright refused to accommodate their African American members due to its discriminatory policies. Outraged by this blatant injustice, Dan Blocker, true to his kind yet resolute nature, declared without hesitation that if the hotel would not welcome everyone, then none of the cast or crew would stay there. His uncompromising stand was more than a threat. It was a promise of solidarity and a testament to his deep commitment to fairness and equality. In the early 1970s, as political tensions from the Vietnam War simmered in the United States, Dan Blocker made a life-altering decision that would forever change his fate. Seeking a peaceful refuge from the chaos back home, he and his family relocated to the quiet, scenic countryside of Switzerland, a move that promised serenity and escape from relentless celebrity pressures. Even in this tranquil haven, his steadfast commitment to Bonanza compelled him to frequently travel back to the U.S. to keep the Western classic alive for adoring audiences. However, as the show neared its final seasons, his health began to falter. He was diagnosed with gallstones, a common condition that nonetheless required surgical removal. What was expected to be a routine procedure initially offered hope of recovery, but in a cruel twist of fate, a sudden complication in the form of a pulmonary embolism struck, claiming his life and plunging his family, friends, and legions of fans into profound grief. The shock of his untimely passing sent ripples through the entertainment world, as tributes poured in for a man celebrated not only for his towering presence, but also for the genuine warmth and kindness he so generously shared. The sudden loss of Dan Blocker marked a turning point for Bonanza, leaving an irreplaceable void that reverberated through every scene and every heart connected to the series. When he passed away on May 13, 1972, the shock of his absence was felt far and wide by family, friends, cast members, and loyal fans alike. As Hoss Cartwright, he had been the beating heart of the Cartwright family, infusing the show with warmth, humor, and unwavering loyalty that resonated with viewers across the nation. His departure forced the cast and crew to confront the daunting challenge of continuing without his magnetic presence. Various proposals were considered, from dedicating an entire episode to his memory to gradually writing his character out. But ultimately, the producers chose a bold, direct acknowledgement of his passing within the storyline, allowing both the cast and audience to grieve together. Michael Landon, portraying Little Joe, undertook the formidable task of rewriting the first episode after Dan's death. opting for a subtle yet deeply emotional approach that lets silence and unspoken sorrow speak volumes. Despite valiant efforts to recapture the early magic, the show's dynamics shifted irreparably, and as ratings declined, NBC eventually canceled Bonanza in 1973, dividing its legacy into the golden years with Hoss and the subsequent years without him. In a heartfelt confession that confirmed what many had long suspected, Dirk Blocker, Dan Blocker's own son, opened up about the profound impact of growing up with the legendary Hoss Cartwright as his father. The tragic loss of Dan, who died at just 43, left an indelible imprint on Dirk's life, shaping not only his personal world, but also the very path of his career. Though Dirk followed in his father's footsteps into acting, he yearned for a quieter life away from the invasive glare of the spotlight that had so relentlessly surrounded Dan. Having witnessed firsthand how every public outing turned into a frenzy of adoration, Dirk found solace in the idea of being a character actor, a role that allowed for creative expression without the constant intrusion of fame. The devastating events of May 13, 1972, when Dan Blocker succumbed to complications following a routine gallbladder surgery at Daniel Freeman Hospital in Englewood, shook Dirk to his core. In the wake of that unbearable loss, he channeled his grief into his work and daily life. A man celebrated not only for his extraordinary talent, but also for his unwavering commitment to justice, his passion for political causes, and his boundless generosity. Inspired by the way his father met life's challenges with humor and stayed true to his values, Dirk continues to honor that legacy every day.